Hi, I'm Alex from the Southern Ukulele Store, and today we're going to take a look at Rebel ukuleles. Those that have been in the ukulele scene or following this channel for a long time will remember that we first brought Rebel over to the UK but way back now in 2019. We met with them at the NAMM show, and they were adjacent to the Koaloa stand, and we learned that there were links between the two brands, and we were fascinated by these one-off, strange, unique pieces that they did. But actually, the real story was the quiet consistency of their strangely named sort of standard production run ukuleles. These ukuleles being known as the Creme Brulee, the Double Cream, the Cheesecake, and the Double Cheese. Now, these strange names, obviously a translation at some point kind of gone awry, or just quirky, the quirky nature of the Rebel brand. Either way, people remembered them, and it's been a long time since we've had them. They build things in small production runs, and we had some Tenors arrive earlier this week. So we've got all four of the standard Tenor models in the run, and it feels like, it's been probably 3 years since we featured them heavily on this channel, and it's a lovely opportunity with our upgraded audio equipment to give them a more up-to-date sound sample. So we're going to look today at the 4 core models of Rebel ukuleles. Let's begin. It's really hard to know where to begin, because do I show you a slimline mango and a slimline spruce, or do I show you both together? I've decided to do it this way around, showing off the same tone woods with the different body depths. So we're going to hear the sound samples back to back, but we're going to take a look first at the Cheesecake and the Double Cheese. And those that have not experienced this brand before will be like, they look exactly the same. Well, they do until you turn them sideways. When you turn them sideways, this ukulele has a 46mm slim body depth, very similar to the Koaloa slimline ukuleles, which I imagine is probably where this model is inspired from. You have a solid spruce top on both of these models with solid mahogany back and sides. You have an ebony fingerboard and bridge with a new bone nut and saddle, so synthetic nut and saddle. They feel quite lightweight, and they are ladder braced inside rather than X bracing, which you might assume for some reason. You have this ebony faceplate here with the Rebel logo, and the gold planetary tuners with the tortoiseshell buttons on this batch. They have a really lovely thin gloss finish with a gloss neck and a 37mm nut width with the recessed fingerboard edges, so the frets end slightly before the end of the fingerboard, like a Koaloa. Finally, Rebel have their own inlay, very unique prism inlay going up the fingerboard. And these come with the coolest 1991 Californian diner inspired gig bag in the world, which some people hate. I love. I wish all ukuleles came with really, really tacky, in a good way, gig bags. And then you obviously have the slimline depth on this ukulele. Now, I won't go through the entire spec, but this has a more conventional, wider lower bout, much more like an Enya. I'm just looking at the wall in front of me, an Eleuthia, some of the flights like the Mustangs and Fireballs. So this is more what you're expecting. High gloss finish, solid spruce, solid mahogany, and all of the rest of the spec of this uke is the same. I will say this instrument is noticeably lighter than this one. I mean, physically there's less wood, but the actual difference in weight is noticeable. Let's give the Cheesecake and the Double Cheese a play and see what you think. First of all, you can tell which one didn't have the string stretched in properly before the demo. Secondly, the top on this is so much more sensitive than on the slimline version. So if I dampen the top, I can get rid of nearly all of the bass end of the ukulele, or bring it back in, but also the snap of each note, which you can do more on the double cream than the slimline. The slimline is much more snappy, like boom, boom, boom. This one is much more nuanced, which is, you know, for spruce and mahogany is quite rare, really, on a ukulele. Normally they're kind of balls to the wall attack. Yeah, there you go. And then finally today we're going to compare the Creme Brulee and the double cream. So this ukulele is the slimline version with a 46mm depth. You'll notice that these are absolutely crazy looking with the weirdest mango in the world. This batch that we're looking at this time, they've all had really quirky looks to them. So it's solid mango for the top, back and sides, with an ebony fingerboard and bridge, with the prism inlays going up the fingerboard to an ebony faceplate. The Goto planetary tuners with the tortoiseshell buttons, 37mm nut width with the sort of reduced string spacing of, I think it's 27mm off the top of my head. So they feel strange in your hands. We'll talk about that a bit more and just elaborate on it. When you hold it, the neck depth is narrow, it's slender, but you have that wider nut width. So the actual fingerprint, literal fingerprint that you leave on the instrument is wider, it's flatter, you've got more space, but the strings are just ever so slightly closer together. So what happens is it gives the illusion of a wider string spacing. As you go up the neck, you start to really feel that string spacing more, but you're not going to bend the note off the fingerboard like you might do with another instrument. Like, try and think of a good example. I've got a Flight A10, and the A10 has a 38mm nut width with a really wide string spacing of 30. But if I play with a lot of vibrato, I might fall off the fingerboard as I go up. There's no danger of that with something like this where the frets have been clipped before the end of the fingerboard. So there's benefits, there's pluses and minuses to all of these things, but it's something I really, really like. And then you have the standard depth version, which is equally crazy, with the normal body depth. Really lovely piece of spalted mango there on this side, but not on this side. I've got to love mango. Mahogany neck on all of these, and yeah, the same spec again. So yeah, without further ado, let's play the Creme Brulee and the double creme. There you go, folks. We've taken a look at the 4 core Rebel models. What do you prefer? Do you think the slimline ukulele or the fatter ukulele sounds better? I know one of them is going to feel better against your body, but is there a noticeable and appreciable difference in your opinion listening at home? I personally really like the fatter bodied mango ukulele and the slimmer spruce and mahogany combo, which is not how I always felt about them. Looking at my old videos, actually my opinions on this batch are different to several years ago. So I'd be really interested in the comments section to know what you think, and for now, thank you for watching.